Hey everyone, I'm Jason with Ignite and Grow Coaching. For over 26 years now, I've helped people grow both personally and professionally by coaching them on how to strengthen their mindset, discipline, and confidence. Today, we're going to talk about something close to my heart. It's something that everything else in our lives is built on, and that's loving ourselves. Most of us spend a large part of our lives looking for love, validation, and happiness outside of ourselves. We want people to tell us how smart we are. We want people to tell us how attractive we are. We want people to tell us that we're doing a good job. And honestly, that starts early. As kids, we get picked on, we get criticized, we get compared. But when that happens, we start craving the opposite. We want someone to tell us that we're enough. But somewhere along the way, we start depending on that. And that's where the problem begins. Because when our sense of worth comes from other people or from things happening in our lives, like getting a new house, getting the new car, getting the promotion, it's always temporary. And we find ourselves going back for more, needing more good things to happen just to feel the same way again. It's like trying to catch smoke. Even if we got it for a moment, we can't hold on to it. And here's the truth. If we don't build that foundation inside of ourselves, nothing outside of us will ever feel like enough. It's like when we're playing Monopoly, we're collecting the money. So while we're playing, it looks good, it feels good. But once the game is over, it doesn't hold any real value. Real value comes from within. And that's something I had to learn the hard way. So years ago, I went through one of the hardest periods of my life. It was painful, it was emotional, it was quite frankly overwhelming. And I had a choice. I could go down a destructive path, or I could choose to use it to grow. Instead of turning to things that would have hurt me long term, I made a decision to start working on myself. At first, I was doing it to try to fix my situation, but during the process, I had an epiphany. I realized that I didn't need to do this for someone else, and I didn't need to do it to fix anything. I needed to do it for me. That ended up turning into daily habits, sharpening my mind, strengthening my body, fortifying my soul. And over time, something started to change. I remember looking in the mirror one day and thinking, for the first time ever, I actually like who I am. Later, that turned into, I'm proud of who I am. And that changed everything. Because once that foundation was built, I didn't need other people to validate me the same way anymore. Now, that doesn't mean other people's opinions never matter. Of course they do. If we're doing a job interview, we should show up prepared. If we're going on a date, we should present ourselves well. But the difference is, if it doesn't go well, it doesn't break us because we already know our worth. We already know what we bring to the table. And if that table doesn't see it, we have the ability to walk away and find a different table because no one brings exactly what we bring. There may be similarities, but there's only one version of us. And when we truly understand that, we stop trying to convince other people of our value. We just live it. And something else I realized, a lot of time when people are constantly trying to prove how great they are, they're not really trying to convince others. They're actually trying to convince themselves. Because real confidence doesn't need to be loud. It's steady. It's calm. It doesn't need constant reinforcement. So another moment that really changed things for me. One day I was at a Disney park. I was with someone who was in a bad mood. And for a long time, whenever they were in a bad mood, I was in a bad mood. I mean, I really cared about them. So I tied their mood to how they felt about me. And if they were happy, I felt good. If they weren't, I felt like I was failing. And then something clicked. I'm in one of my favorite places in the world right now. Why am I letting this control my experience? So I made a decision. I was still going to be there for them, but I wasn't going to let their mood dictate mine. And about 30 minutes later, their mood shifted. But more importantly, mine didn't depend on it anymore. There was a huge turning point for me because I realized we don't need someone else to make us happy. We can create that ourselves. And when we get to that place, everything changes. We start doing things because we want to and not because we're trying to earn something. Acts of kindness end up coming from a genuine place, not a need for recognition. If someone doesn't say thank you, it doesn't bother us because we didn't do it for that. At the same time, we stop allowing people to take advantage of us because loving ourselves also creates boundaries. We're not doormats anymore. We respect ourselves too much for that. Now, this doesn't mean life is perfect. There are still moments where something hits us, where we feel something. But the difference is we recover faster. We don't spiral in the same way anymore. And we don't feel the need to make excuses anymore. If something doesn't work out, it simply means it wasn't the right fit. If someone walks away from us, it doesn't define our value. It just means there wasn't alignment between the two of us. And that's okay. Because loving ourselves means understanding this: our value doesn't decrease based on someone else's opinion. So if there's one thing you take from this, it's this: everything in our lives gets easier to navigate when we start with loving ourselves. Not perfectly, but consistently. And the way we build that is by working on ourselves every day, sharpening our minds, strengthening our bodies, fortifying our souls, and giving ourselves grace along the way. Because we're not going to be perfect. But if we keep going, we will get better. And that is something to be proud of. So hey, if this video helped you, do me a favor. Like it and follow me for more. Please share this with someone who needs it. And if you're ready for coaching, you want help applying this to your life, visit igniteandgrowcoaching.com to book a free discovery call. And remember, ignite your spark, grow your success. I can't wait to see you in the next video.